Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning into this CompTIA A+ study group. If you've never tuned into one of these study groups before, we have comprised a list of questions that you are likely to see on your CompTIA 1001 and 1002 exams. So stay tuned because we're going to have tons of questions and much more coming up. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into another wonderful episode of the Bearded IT Dad, where we give you advice and insight on how to grow your career in the IT field. My name's Dakota, and today we are doing something we haven't done in a long time. We are hosting one of our CompTIA A+ study groups. So the current CompTIA A+ exam is the 1001 and 1002 exams. But if you're watching this and at a later date in time, there might be a new exam out, but these questions that we're going to cover are likely the questions you're going to see on really any CompTIA A+ exam. These are some fundamental knowledge that you should know, and these are likely questions that you might see on a CompTIA exam. Let's go ahead and get on started with our CompTIA A+ study group. So like I said, this study group, these series of questions I've hand wrote myself, and they are things you might see in the 1001 and 1002 CompTIA exams. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive on into one of our first questions. This should be a simple one. We're going to start off a little bit easy, and as we go, these questions are going to get a little bit harder. So the question is, how do you upgrade the computer chipset? How do you upgrade the computer chipset? Either A, replace the motherboard, B, download a program from the manufacturer and flash the chipset, C, physically remove the original chipset and install a new chipset, or D, rewrite the code using the programming language appropriate to the chipset. Guys, let me know in the chat what you think. If you're watching this on the replay, you can follow along, write your answers down. And I encourage you guys not to use Google. Let's try to practice like you're in an actual exam environment. Let's go ahead and reveal the correct answer here. The correct answer to how do you upgrade the computer chipset is C, physically remove the original chipset and install a new chipset. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on to our next question. If you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to drop in the chat. We'll come back to all the questions after we finish the study group part of the live stream. And if you want to hang around after the study group, we're also going to do an Ask Me Anything, where if you guys have any questions about IT certifications or IT career advice, I will answer them live on the stream. All right, next question. What type of Wi-Fi security is no longer considered secure? A, WEP, B, WAP, C, WPA, D, WPA2, or E, token ring. Again, my head is in the way of some of the questions on screen. I apologize. Javin says wired equivalent protocol, WEP. All right, I'm seeing a lot of people saying WEP. And that is correct. Wired equivalent protocol was actually phased out, I believe, in the early 2000s due to security vulnerabilities found in that protocol. So very good, everyone. What protocol allows you to assign IP addresses information to a host dynamically? The answer to that is actually DHCP. I just went ahead and showed that on screen. DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Is a client/server protocol that automatically provides an IP or an internet protocol IP host with an IP address and other related configuration informations such as subnet, mask, and default gateway. I apologize. I kind of showed that answer early on. Okay, next question. You are building a new gaming computer and you want to get the highest speeds and best performance video graphics card possible. Which of these expansion slot technologies listed below should the new card utilize to provide the fastest transmission speeds? PCIe, PCI-X, PCI, or ATX? So Out of these 4 speeds, what is the fastest speed? Or what should you pick to utilize the fastest speed? Alrighty, well, the correct answer is PCIe. I see quite a few of you said that in the chat. Good job there. What type of network do you create using Bluetooth? Is it a LAN, a MAN, a WAN, or a PAN? What type of network do you create using Bluetooth? LAN, MAN, WAN, or PAN? And this, let's break this down. LAN here stands for a local area network. MAN is a metropolitan area network. WAN is a wide area network. And PAN is a personal area network. So what type of network do you create when you're using Bluetooth? The correct answer is D, PAN, a personal area network. Good job to those who got it right. And don't get discouraged if you didn't get it. You just have to keep on studying. That's what we're here for. Next question. An SPDIF port is used for what purpose? An SPDIF port is used for what purpose? Some of these questions are going to be trick questions where they don't give you a lot of detail. You're expected to know what the acronym is. Is it A, analog video signal, B, analog audio signal, C, digital video signal, or D, digital audio signal? To be 100% honest with you, I don't even know off the top of my head. I don't remember what SPDIF stands for. I'm going to have to look that up because that's not something I use on a daily basis. Someone in here said D or digital. The D has to stand for digital. That's a good way to look at it. So the correct answer is D, digital audio signal. So SPDIF stands for Sony Philips Digital Interface. And I'll actually pull it up here on screen. So that is what the connector looks like right there. Is the type of digital audio interconnect used in consumer audio equipment to output audio over relatively short distances. See, things like these are some of the things you guys are going to see on your exam. So you have to know some of these nuances. All right. Which of the following addresses is a private Class A address? Remember, the CompTIA A Plus does cover some basic networking protocols and networking. So which one of the following is a private Class A address? I'm just going to go ahead and put them up on the screen instead of reading them out to you guys. Let me know which one of these is a private Class A address. Okay, let's go ahead and show the answer. Oops. So E is the correct answer. So these first 2 addresses here, these are public IP addresses. C and D are private addresses, but these are private Class C addresses. You know the Class C because they start with 192.168. There's also a Class B address that starts with 172 address, and then you have a private Class A address. All private Class A addresses start with 10. Not everything else after 10 is technically can be your internal subnets. But the 10 signifies a private Class A address. What command should you type at the command line to see the IPv4 and IPv6 address on a Windows-based computer? Keep in mind, on the exam, you're going to be asked command line information for not only Windows, but Linux and Mac OS. So those are some things to keep in mind. So what command do you need to type? Is it ping, ifconfig, tracert, or ipconfig? Oh, I did have one more. IP address. But I'll go ahead and tell you guys IP addresses. is not the correct answer. All right, let's go ahead and see what the correct answer is. It is D, ipconfig. Looks like most of you guys got that question right. So really quick, A, ping. The ping command is it's a command you use to send a small packet to get a reply and make sure a destination host is up and you can communicate with them. Ifconfig, that is a Linux command, very similar to ipconfig, but it is used at the Linux command line for doing the exact same thing. And here, really quick, let's go ahead and pull up a command prompt. And let's just do an IP. So when you type the command ipconfig, this is the kind of output you guys are going to see. Where you can see right here, my Ethernet adapter number 2 would have my IPv6 address right here. And it looks like it also has my IPv4 address right there as well. Also information is subnet mask, my default gateway, and so on. So that's the type of information you guys are going to see with an ipconfig. All right, good job answering, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to the next question. Which of the following is a connection-oriented session in which every packet sent is checked for accuracy? Is it A, UDP, B, TCP, C, IP, or D, SSH? Do you believe? Yep. And E, Telnet. So, which one of these is a connection-oriented session in which every packet sent is checked for accuracy? All right, we'll go ahead and show the correct answer on the screen, and it is B, TCP. Awesome, guys. Move on to the next question here. What type of PC expansion card allows you to insert additional cards above and parallel to the motherboard? This is fill in the blank. All right, there's not multiple choice, because on your exam, not all the questions are multiple choice. Some of the questions are going to be fill in the blank. They're going to be performance-based questions and so on. So what type of PC expansion card allows you to insert additional cards above and parallel to the motherboard? All right, we're going to go ahead and show the answer on the screen here. It is a riser card. And here is an image of what a riser card looks like. So it actually sits in a PCI slot and will actually allow you to attach multiple PCI devices into a single slot. You see these a lot of the time on servers. They're very common in in servers in a server environment. You don't really see these too often in desktop PCs. So, but yeah, absolutely. And this is a little bit of an older technology, but it's still something that is covered on the CompTIA A+ exam. So good job, you guys. Let's go ahead and move on to our next question here. What type of RAM is synchronous to the motherboard and works at half the speed of DDR RAM? What type of RAM is synchronized to the motherboard and works at half the speed of DDR? Is it SDRAM, PRAM, SODIMM, or DDR2? So on some of these questions, if you don't know, it's just a matter of logical choice, or using a little bit of logic. DDR2 is obviously faster than DDR1, or just DDR RAM. We're looking for what's half the speed of DDR, so it's slower. So we wouldn't pick DDR2. SODIMM is a type of form factor. So it has nothing to do with the actual speed of the RAM, because you can have multiple different speeds of RAM when it comes to SODIMM RAM. PRAM, I'm not even sure if that's an actual thing. If anyone in the chat knows if PRAM is an actual thing, let me know. So what do we have left is SDRAM, which is the correct answer. Okay. You have been commissioned to build a gaming computer. The client wants you to use the fastest CPU and memory possible. You also recommend using a RAID array to create an even faster system. What type of RAID would you recommend using to keeping in mind that redundancy is not a priority? Would you use RAID 0, RAID 1, RAID 5, or RAID 10? So we are looking purely for speed and we do not care about redundancy. What RAID configuration would you use? Let me know in the chat. The correct answer is RAID 0. So it uses 2 disks and it uses a form of striping to write your data simultaneously to 2 different disks. Alrighty, good job, you guys. Blind guess 0, well, you got it right. Alrighty, you have built a Cat5e cable using a T568B pinout. What type of connector did you use? Was it a BNC, RJ46, RH45, RJ11, or RJ45? So a Cat5e cable using a T568B pinout. What type of connector did you use? So let's break this down a little bit while people put their answers in. So a Cat5e cable. Cat5e is typically used for Ethernet connection. This is typically a type of Ethernet using twisted pair. It has 4 different pairs, 8 cables in it. The pinout we're using is a type of Ethernet pinout. So this is used that we are definitely dealing with Ethernet here, not phone or anything else. So Cat5e, this standard is an Ethernet standard. This is a way of wiring. I accidentally clicked on the screen and showed you guys the answer. This is a way of wiring your actual wires, all 8 wires on the inside of your connector. The correct answer is RJ45. You're going to use an RJ45 connector. A video card has several connectors for different types of displays. Which of the following is used for VGA? DisplayPort, RCA, DB15, DIN, or C13. So a video card has several types of different connectors for displays. Which of the following is used for VGA? The blue one, that is correct. But what type of connector is on the end of that? The DisplayPort, an RCA, a DB15, a DIN cable, or a DIN connector, or a C13. Correct answer is a DB15. So a VGA cable has 15 pins. So that is what the 15 stands for. RCA is your yellow, white, red type of connector. DisplayPort is very similar looking to like an HDMI cable, is a digital signal. A C13 is a power connector, and a DIN connector is something like you'd see on like a PS2 mouse, not PlayStation. It's actually an older style of connection for keyboard and mouse, commonly used. Good job, everyone. Next question here. Apparently that was our last question we have. Yep, that is all the questions we have. So great job, everyone. Thank you guys for participating. If you guys have any questions about entering the IT field, whether it's certifications, you have questions about the CompTIA exams, anything, feel free to put them in the chat and we will answer them live on the stream here. If you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and put your questions in the comments below and I will get back to every single one of you. Let's take a look through the chat here. See what I've missed here. The first question, we were talking about the computer chipset. Is that what you're referring to? Where you have to physically remove the chipset to upgrade it? Let me know if that's what you're talking about. Yep. So yeah, going back to that first question we had, you have to physically remove to upgrade a computer's chipset. You have to physically take the processor out of the computer to be able to upgrade it, and you have to find a compatible CPU that connects to that motherboard socket. It is typically very uncommon to upgrade a CPU. It is more common to completely replace the computer because there are so many different kinds of computer sockets out there. It is very possible, and it used to be very common, but yeah, nowadays you're more likely to just upgrade the computer than change out a CPU. New one you can so we're not talking about BIOS, we are talking about the actual processor. You know what you're talking about, BIOS, that's not necessarily the chipset we're talking about there. So my goal is to become a network engineer. Should I go straight for the net? I don't have any experience. If you are, I'm assuming you're referring to the CompTIA Network Plus. If you have absolutely zero experience in networking and IT, I definitely would recommend going for the Network Plus. It will cover definitely more of the fundamentals. If you have a little bit of experience and are familiar with the computer, I personally recommend the Cisco CCNA certification. It definitely is a more in-depth certification, I feel, than the Network Plus, but the CompTIA Network Plus is a vendor neutral certification. So they're both great certifications, but definitely, I definitely study for, if you have absolutely no experience, go for your Network Plus. And if you have very low experience with computers, I would also consider getting your CompTIA A plus first before diving into the Network Plus. The Network Plus assumes you have a CompTIA, they assume you have an A plus level of understanding before you take the Network Plus. So are you into cyber at all? I am very much into cyber. I've done a couple different cybersecurity things here on the channel. We have a couple guests actually coming up that are going to be on the channel talking about how to study for to get a career in cybersecurity and stuff like that. So I do a lot with cybersecurity in my day job as a director of network operations. I'm constantly dealing with cybersecurity threats and making sure our systems and our infrastructure is constantly updated to protect us. So you have some questions about cybersecurity? I want to get into compliance, but the ISACA cert has a lot of 5-year requirements. I want to get into PCI DSS. That I've dealt with PCI compliance. I'm not familiar with the ISACA cert, to be honest with you, so I can't honestly speak to that. I don't think we have Ali in the chat today, but you know, if you're looking to get into security, and I don't know your background and stuff like that, but if you are looking to just build some experience in security, I would definitely go for like a Security Plus certification. Like I said, I don't know how much experience you currently have, where you're at in your career. Are you working in cybersecurity currently? Kind of let me know some of the more details, and I'll be glad to kind of fill in the dots. If any of you are interested in joining our Discord, please feel free to click the link and join us. After the stream is over, we have a after party in the Discord where we all hop on and chat and talk together with our cameras on. You don't have to have your camera on, but we all talk anything tech related. It's always a huge blast. A lot of good stories there, a lot of great advice as well. So if you haven't already, make sure you guys join our Discord, and as soon as the stream ends, go ahead and go on over there for even more fun. So getting back to chat here, stuff like CISP and CISA. Yeah. You know, again, let me know what kind of experience. Oh, look, here it is right here. Nope, I am currently in uni for it. Finished up CCNA ATM. Figured it's a good understanding networks before you can protect them. Absolutely. So this is my biggest advice to anyone looking to get into cybersecurity. You have to understand how the networks you're protecting work before you can actually protect them. So going and getting like a Network Plus or a CCNA will put you at a huge advantage. Having some basic, entry level tech experience will put you light years ahead of your competition in the field. So definitely getting that CCNA is going to help you tons. In your case here, in all honesty, I would recommend going for your Security Plus. I think that's probably going to do you the best here. Give you, just get your foot in the door to the security field. With that Security Plus, you're likely to be able to land a job in the security field and then go from there. If you, one thing I would also recommend is I released a video. We did a live stream a couple weeks back with Ali from Learn Cybersecurity, and we dropped a lot of advice in that live stream on how to start, studying and getting your career in cybersecurity. I am pulling up the video right now. I'm going to give you guys a link to that. If you're interested, go check it out. Tons of information there. Ali, actually, I know personally, she lives actually not too far away, and she works in cybersecurity and has a YouTube channel to help people learn cybersecurity. So I just put that link in chat, and so go check out that video. Tons of great information there. We actually have a whole playlist dedicated to cybersecurity, and we're starting to do more and more. How is it looking for the future of networking with all the cloud stuff going on? To be 100% honest with you, networking has never looked better, because even with everything going to the cloud, there's still networking involved with cloud computing. Networking is the backbone of the cloud. Without networking, it doesn't work. So networking is a career that's always going to be in demand. It's not going to be outsourced. So if you're interested in networking, jump in. The job market's going gangbusters right now. So even with cloud. Now, if you're interested in cloud as well as networking, definitely you're gonna just guarantee yourself guaranteed job placement by studying the cloud and networking as well. Wish more people understood networking before they went into security. Absolutely. You have to understand, you have to understand the fundamentals of networking to be able to secure the networks that you're working on. I think you should be taking it in a week or so. Absolutely. What's your opinion is a good way to showcase your practical skills to recruiters and potential employers? Labs. Build your own home labs, and talk about them, document them. You can start a website talking about the projects you're working on. You can start a YouTube channel even, and that showcases the different projects you're working on. Go check out My Little Land. What he has started on his YouTube channel is a great example on ways you can showcase your skills and your knowledge about different things you're working on. So, but home labs, I think, is the key to showcase those skills. Not too interested in pen testing, so more into compliance. The Security Plus might not be necessarily the best for you. I don't have advice for you, unfortunately. I don't know enough about the different IT certifications out there. So let me circle back to you on that one. Definitely go over in our Discord, drop that message over there, and I will get an answer for you. So there's always going to be networking work. Even if everything went to the cloud, you would need network devices to get to the cloud. Absolutely. You still need a local network. Yep, absolutely. What would I recommend after the Security Plus for compliance? I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm so sorry. And I might be kind of behind on the questions here. You may have already mentioned that, but CISSP is probably what I would recommend. Look into the CISSP for compliance. That's definitely a well-known certification out there in the world. Oh, look right here, My Little Land, CISSP. Absolutely. Definitely go down that route. You only get the cert that you can't claim. You only get the cert that you can't claim is the CISSP until you have 5 years in security. So yeah, you need to get that initial initial experience in the security field. That's why I was saying get your security plus. That will get your foot in the door to a cybersecurity position, and you build up that experience so you can go after like the CISSP. So oh, absolutely, you're welcome for the answers. If you have any more questions, let me know. So yeah, definitely I'd probably go after your security plus. It's probably going to have more than you're looking, since you're mainly interested in compliance, but it's going to be a door opener to a job in the cybersecurity field. And then you can go from there, building up your experience and start studying for more compliance certifications. Definitely go out and check out Ali Hacks or Learn Cybersecurity on YouTube. I know she is just restarting her YouTube channel, but she works actually in cybersecurity compliance. Check out that interview I did that I dropped a link to, where she gives tons of great advice about studying for a career in cybersecurity. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. So in here, I'm curious, how many people are studying for a certification currently? How many of you are studying for any type of certification, whether it's networking, security, cloud? What are you guys studying for? And let me know what certification you're studying for. My little land, the CISSP, without experience, you only get to claim Associates of ISC. Great advice there. Thank you. I don't understand. Sorry. CompTIA A plus. I'm doing a career change. What kind of career are you coming from? What made you decide to get into tech? I'm curious. Let me know. Is someone else here studying for your A plus? It is a great certification. I don't know why on screen the plus doesn't show up. I did just get quiet. I apologize. I probably just got really loud. Do I sound better now? So we got 2 people studying for their A plus. Anyone else studying for any certifications? I am currently myself still studying for my Linux plus. I was really hoping to get it taken before the end of January. I'm going to shoot for next couple weeks here in February. So my little land is debating between the CISSP and a cloud cert. I can tell you, once I'm done with my Linux plus, I'm going to start studying Juniper networking certifications. I start studying some of those. Let's take a look here. Well, if you guys don't have too many more questions, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the live stream and move to the Discord for the after party. Like I said, if you guys aren't a member of our Discord, I'm going to put the link in the chat one more time. Go ahead and head on over there after the stream is over and join the after party. It is a lot of fun, a lot of great tales, a lot of great experience there in the Discord. We have another question here. One more question. If someone wants to transition to IT, what advice would they want to avoid? Or what? Sorry, I totally read that wrong. Well, if someone wants to transition to IT, what would you advise if they want to avoid the help desk? I don't advise avoiding the help desk. If you don't have a ton of experience in the IT field, the help desk is almost a rite of passage. I hate to say it. I really didn't want to do the help desk myself. I was really into networking, and it's a rite of passage. I think you need that 1 to 2 years experience on the help desk to really jumpstart your career into that higher level position. It is possible to jump into a entry-level networking position sometimes with like a CCNA. It's definitely a lot more difficult. Build home labs, talk about your home labs in your interviews, and go from there. But like I said, I really think the help desk is almost essential to build that fundamental skills. So any merch, we do have some merch. We haven't released any new merch. We are working on it. We're actually still trying to get the merch sent out from our holiday giveaway. That will be getting shipped here soon. There will be some new merch coming out probably the beginning of February. There's a lot to learn in the help desk, especially with communication. Absolutely. The help desk is a great place to just learn and get the feeling for the IT industry. I was studying mechanical engineering back in my country, then left the country. And since I came back, I have been doing construction, deliveries, etc. Awesome. And then like you had said, you're studying for your A+ currently. It is a great time to get into the tech field. Absolutely. Sorry here. All right, let's see. Apply for all the positions and show you know your stuff with labs. Absolutely. Desktop solutions may be okay. If your degree is in security, you may be able to do some intern security stuff. Absolutely. Great advice there. Will there be another study group for this? Absolutely. We used to do a monthly A+ study group. Next week will not be an A+ study group, at least. We will probably put a post out Wednesday again and let you guys decide, vote on what you'd like to see in next week's live stream. But next week will not be an A+ study group. We're going to limit those at least to every other week for now, unless there's a huge demand for it. Then we will do it once a week, but we'll move it off of our Friday live stream. We'll do it on a separate day. So, but absolutely, there'll be another A+ study group coming out. And you can look at some of there's a link down in the description of our past A+ study groups. There's a playlist of them, and you can go through, and they're very similar to this style, and watch those for additional study material. Now I would like to start a career in IT. Kind of hard to study working at the same time. Absolutely, that is very difficult. A lot of times, if you can get into the IT field, a lot of employers will let you study while you're working. So that's very helpful. But it can be very difficult to study while you're working. But start applying for jobs now. Don't wait until you have your certificate. Because, you know, if you can get your foot in the door now, that will only help your career. Hit up the Discord. I am sure you can find someone over there for some questions. Absolutely. Yeah, come join the Discord if you have any questions in regards to the A+ or any certification. Here's some great advice. Studying has to become your hobby, because if you're in IT, you have to constantly be studying and constantly be learning. There is tons of great study material out there. But the IT career field is constantly changing. You have to constantly be studying and adapting to learn the new technologies as they come out. There was a whole group of people in Kentucky for transitioning construction people to IT. We actually had quite a few in our Discord. So if you guys have any questions about it, feel free to always ask in our Discord. There's almost always someone in the Discord, and you'll get a reply back pretty quickly. All right, well, with that said, I think we're gonna wrap up this live stream. Like I said, if you want to join our after party, we'll start right after the live stream's over. Go over to our Discord and join there. If you guys have any questions about the IT field that we didn't cover on this live stream, make sure and put them in the comments below, and we get back to every single one of you. If you want to watch another A+ study group like this, I have actually put a link down in the description to a playlist of all our past A+ study groups. We'll likely have another one here in a couple weeks. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy.